It's alive! It's alive!
Otherworldlyculture.com presents Dead On Movie Reviews.
Salutations and mutilations. You're listening to Otherworldly Culture presents Dead On Movie Reviews. Tonight, we will present horror movie reviews and lively debate here on Otherworldlyculture.com and on future select Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can join our live chat at that time by clicking on the live shows link on the Otherworldlyculture.com website. I'm your host, Tim Gretschman, coming to you from the land of lakes and landfills, beautiful and smelly Muskego, Wisconsin. It's my honor to introduce the Faculty of Fear panel presenting tonight's lectures. We start with Adam Holtzoffel. He's our hardcore Otherworldly Culture columnist, and he won't brag, but he is, in fact, the Taco King. Good evening, Adam.
Hey, Tom, how's it going?
Fantastic. Now, we did advertise that we're going to have the meat, Rich Delzato, on tonight's show. He is not able to make it, but don't worry. We have the long-awaited return of little Mikey Exler. He's back. He's the denizen of the dismal, the purveyor of the putrid, that exciting exclaimer of glorious gloom wrestling up from his stony tomb. He's the monster of the mad, the ghoul of the glad, and that sack of mumbling, moaning pus that barfs out baloney. He's our very own panel-purveying provocateur. He's Coach Michael Exler. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Tim. How are you?
Real good. Welcome back to the show. It's been a little while, and we're awful glad to have you here. So everybody keep your ass in your seat, sharpen your pencil. Let's get unruly with the Faculty of Fear. We are going to get things started right now. We're going to go and talk to Adam. Adam, what have you been watching?
So, just to make sure you have your finger ready, this is streaming on Shudder.
Yeah.
It premieres March 18th, which is Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
It is called Slaxx. It is a Canadian horror comedy produced by the producers of Turbo Kid. And it was a fun film. Clocked in at around 77 minutes. Follows the story of a killer pair of jeans. Now,
Is this like
the kind you
rubber?
wear? Is it like the kind you wear? Jeans?
Yes.
Nice.
Wait, what other type of gene is there?
You know, like the jeans you're made of.
Yes.
Oh, the genetic genes? That would be an interesting type of killer.
It would.
Copyright Otherworldly Culture right there before Blumhouse makes a movie on that. Okay, go ahead.
It's already done.
Yeah, it's already been done, Tim. So it starts a lush cotton field for the Canadian Cotton Clothiers, which is like a Gap type store. We kind of see the events that shape the villain of the film. We then fast forward and meet Libby, who is played by Roman Denis, and she is starting a new job at the store for their new clothing line, the Super Shapers, which are gender-inclusive jeans that adapt to your body size. So from there, you kind of get an idea of what's going to happen. And Yeah, a couple of employees go missing, and that's when things get weird. Now, going into it, I expected it to be kind of like a microwave massacre, the lift, the refrigerator, all those 80s, 90s appliance comedy horror films. But this kind of, at times, had a feel of Dawn of the Dead with the setting, but a different take on who the zombies actually are. There's some fun kills, a lot of blood, a lot of dark comedy, and anyone that's worked retail can kind of relate to this, especially with the management characters and the kind of backhanded compliments they give. And the fact it's all practical effects also scores big points with me. So yeah, no CGI in this. They went old school.
Old school pants.
Yes.
Killer just throw a guy in a green suit will run around in a set of jeans, and there you go. Right?
No, they were puppeted.
Oh, they were.
So yeah,
they did it as puppets. That seems like a lot of extra expense.
Not really. From my understanding, is they kind of had someone puppeting the jeans, kind of like the green suit idea, but it wasn't just a guy in a green suit wearing the jeans. It was a whole process to get the effects right and the movement right.
Okay.
Interesting.
Now, did the jeans ever talk through its fly or something like that? Or
oh my god, that'd be amazing.
Not that I recall, but I don't want to say too much because, the movie hasn't premiered yet.
Okay.
So, don't want to spoil it for anyone.
Okay. So, are you then saying you're going to grades?
Yeah, I'm ready to grade it.
All right. Okay. Here it goes. What are you grading? Slaxx.
I'm going to give it an A. It's a fun watch. While there is a little bit of a political message, it didn't ruin the film. They didn't beat you to death with it or zip you to death with it, however you want to put it. Lots of blood, just dark comedy, which is always good, and practical effects.
All right. Well, fantastic. All right. Well, I guess then it is time for Mike. Mike, what have you been watching?
So I decided to watch 1982 film Ghost Keeper. We were doing an episode of Horror Realm Radio, and it was our New Year's Eve episode. And I had looked up a list of New Year's Eve horror films, and this was on there. And it sounded like if you've ever listened to us, you know that I'm the ghost person.
Right.
I will always gravitate towards a ghost film. So it says Ghost Keeper is the title. Let me read you
which keeps synopsis. Ghosts. So this is somebody that trains them and teaches them little tricks like going through the hoop.
Yes.
Right? And now, is there a ghost tamer as well, or are these just?
I think that was gonna be a sequel.
Oh, okay.
But this one didn't do too well.
He's gonna wear a top hat. And this is 81, so this is beginning of the 80s. Okay.
Yeah, 82, but
82.
Close enough. So 3 friends on a New Year's Eve snowmobiling excursion find themselves stranded at an abandoned lodge where the elderly female innkeeper is concealing a sinister secret. Now, with the title Ghost Keeper and that sort of vague synopsis, you would think that this is probably a ghost movie, right?
Sure.
Well, the title is Ghost. I'm thinking there's ghosts.
Okay, just keep.
I don't even need the synopsis. I can tell you, it says ghost. I'm looking at the poster here up on the screen, and it looks like a ghostly like character in the background. It's got to be about ghosts, Mike. Gotta be.
So, so we'll build up to the the meat and potatoes of the story here in a second. Is this a ghost movie or is this not a ghost movie?
Wait, is Patrick Swayze in here at any point or Whoopi Goldberg?
No.
Okay, just checking.
Either.
Just checking.
Demi Moore, not in it either.
Oh.
So these
Mike Clay.
3 people.
Yeah.
Who? Well, first of all, I want to say if you want to watch this film, it's on Amazon Prime, and streaming there. And it seems like they took it from whatever 16 millimeter camera they shot it on, and they just put it on streaming. Like, I don't think this ever had a VHS release. I could be mistaken, but
really?
The copy that I watched definitely did not look like a VHS transfer.
So this looked like somebody projected it at the local VFW post, and they took their camera out, their camera phone, and just stuck it on streaming that way. Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much. I mean, it was grainy. It skipped. There were, the cigarette burns in the upper right-hand corner. I was like, holy shit, I'm in a grindhouse.
Well, at least they didn't charge you for it. It's part of the standard Prime. Okay.
So these 3 people that look like they should be on a snowmobile and going into the wilderness of any sort, they don't look like those type of people at all. It was quite confusing on why they chose to do this on a place that didn't have like a little bit of snow. Like, we're talking an area that had like feet of snow. It was in the mountains. Mm-hmm. So they get on their snowmobiles and they decide to go in for an adventure. And literally it feels like a half hour later of watching horribly shot mountain scenes and snowmobiling. They get... It's fucking painful.
I love
it. So, it's very great shots of absolutely nothing. So they get to a point where they're, messing around on the snowmobiles, and the one gets stuck, and then the other one gets stuck as well. So they're not too far from this lodge. It looks like an old hotel in the middle of nowhere. That's obviously, it appears abandoned. And again, I'm spoiling this just because it's from 1982.
Bastard!
I'm just doing you a favor. So they are like, it's cold out, so we need to get in this fucking place and get warmed up and all that kind of stuff. So they get in there and they build a fire, and it's 2 girls and it's a guy. That's the 3 people.
That's the right way to be.
And the only thing that got me to laugh about this film was this guy's blatant disregard for his girlfriend with flirting with the other woman. It wasn't like just casual flirting. It was basically like, hey, do you just want to go have sex in the back? Fuck this bitch over here. We'll just go do it. I did find that pretty entertaining, and the guy was pretty funny. Although he did have a singing portion while he was building the fire, which I wish he would have tripped and fallen into the fire, and then someone taken a pickaxe to put the fire out on his head. So definitely not something.
You have an interesting way of putting out a fire. So you often fight fire with a pickaxe?
Only on people's heads that deserve to not be here.
That way you spill the blood on the fire, and that puts it out.
Right.
Okay. You're thinking ahead. You're ahead like 2 steps on that.
I got this.
All right.
So these are the type of people we're dealing with. So you have the quintessential, I don't know, stereotypical loose girl. Then you have the dickhead guy, and then you have the I don't even know what the other one was supposed to be because she's just mad the entire time. I don't even know why she went on this trip to begin with. So out of nowhere, as this is all going on, because you didn't really know any of this until and then the half-hour snowmobiling tutorial happened, and then they finally start to speak, and you get to know about the characters. So then this old lady just rolls out like, "What are you doing in my place?" And there was really not much dialogue between the two, other than like yelling and things like that. So they calm things down, and she's like, "Okay, you can stay because the weather's bad, but then you got to go." So I was like, okay, we are deep in this 89-minute movie, and I haven't seen a fucking ghost, heard anybody mention anything about a ghost, and anything. Okay,
Now,
I was
wait,
like, all
has
right,
anybody died yet at this point?
No,
No.
nothing has happened other than
Nothing is
snowmobiling,
happening. Okay.
fire building, and inappropriate behavior
Okay.
by this gentleman. So that's what's happened, and now the old lady has showed up, and she's not happy that they're there. So then, like I said, there's no ghosts. So the movie goes on for a little bit longer, and you find out that the secret that she is keeping in, that the synopsis talked about, is essentially a knockoff version of Leatherface in the basement. Yeah, great, right? So he has some sort of mask.
82, that makes sense. There was a lot of that going on.
So, I mean, he had an apron on. He was eating people. He had a chainsaw. I mean, they pretty much pushed as much as they could to Leatherface without it being Leatherface.
Wow.
So then I realized that this isn't a ghost movie at all. And
maybe it was a remake of The Boy.
Ugh. Listen, The Boy at least had a good first half.
I know you hate The Boy. I liked it quite a bit because the reveal didn't bother me, and it killed you.
There's two schools of people. It's one of those movies that there's no like, it was okay. I think there's people that love it or hate it.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work for me.
Yeah, I think the thing that people can't debate, it was well made. It was well made for what it is. You either buy the reveal or you don't buy the reveal. So I think what I'm getting out of this is you think Ghost Keeper was very well made.
No.
Oh,
no,
okay.
At all. I don't know who any of these people were. I was looking up on IMDb, and these people they've been ghosts pretty much since this.
Oh,
maybe it should have been Ghost Baker.
Wasn't this supposed to be like a Wendigo movie based on the little blurb at the beginning of the film, and then it kind of turned to generic Leatherface?
Yeah, because I was like, all right, Wendigo, that's still paranormal. That's ghost, in the realm. I can dig that.
Ghost adjacent.
So I think ghost adjacent. So I think they were attempting that to be what that was, but it just was really poorly done. And then there was this. I'm sure they thought this ending was going to be like this super shock, and no, you could see it coming from a fucking mile away. I mean, it was like, that's pretty obvious that was going to go there.
My absolute favorite, Mike, is when you have a painful movie that you're going through, because you made me watch some pretty bad stuff over the years. So I don't feel bad for you. Wait, now, why did you keep watching is my question.
Honestly, I was like, Ghost is in the fucking title. There's got to be a and I was just stubborn enough to keep watching to see the ghost, and there was none of fucking ghosts. No ghost. Zero. Just the death of my 89 minutes is the only nearest thing to paranormal.
So what I'm hearing is a big recommend on this one.
Yeah, just the acting was shit. I don't even think they had a script. They're just like, fuck it, talk. See what happens.
Yeah, I made it whopping 20 minutes into it before tapping out. So you're a braver man than I am, Mike.
Did you even?
Well, that's
did
been
you make
established
it to
over the
the
years,
house?
Adam.
No, I didn't make it to the house. I made it to like where they were on the snowmobiles after dude was scheming on the chick at the local store.
Right.
I'm like, okay, so it's dude, his new chick, and possibly his ex-girlfriend, and I'm like, yeah, this is
So I just
bad.
want to go back and reiterate what Adam said, that he lasted 20 minutes into the film and then he dropped out. And at the 20-minute mark, they're still on the snowmobiles. I just want to fucking say
Yeah,
that. Okay.
that snowmobile scene, I'm like, Jesus, have we been on this scene for like an hour? I'm like, am I watching Patton here or something? Like,
Like, I think I'm exaggerating on the half hour, but if it wasn't good 15 minutes,
Wow.
someone was really happy and proud of those shots. I don't lie,
You
but
know, though, okay, I don't know if you guys have ever, put together short videos or anything like that. I will say, I've made video where I had a fairly decent script, and then I kind of go out and I shoot some stuff with my friends, and stuff that I thought was difficult to shoot, I just find it almost impossible to cut. And so many times, this is why I always talk about the editing bay on these, cheapies that we watch here. Sometimes it just seems like they fall in love with, well, that was a fun day. Well, it might have been a fun day, but nobody else wants to watch it. You know?
I know I saw the same goddamn snowmobile jumped like 5 times in that 20 minutes.
it was
my
perfect the way the one got stuck because it was literally up this little slope. And they're just like, oh, it broke. Fuck. What are we going to do?
My favorite
Got no-
example of what you're talking about, Adam, last year in the summer, because there was nothing to do, I decided to watch all the Annette Funicello beach movies, right? There was one movie where there's like a fight scene with the local bikers and, the beach kids. And they showed the exact same shot in this fight, not once, not twice, but 3 times, and within about 2 minutes. And I was like, this is a movie where there were professionals involved. There were people that get paid money and, have gone on to have careers. And it had this just glaring, they kept using the same shot over and over. I was like, oh my God. But I know you guys are into the beach movies too.
I love beach movies.
Like Murder on the Beach. And
Dude, what the fuck? There was one that I watched as a kid. What was it? Back to the Beach.
that's
Oh God,
yeah,
I
that's
rem-
with Annette Funicello and Frankie.
Some little guy.
Yeah, Frankie
yeah.
Avalon.
Frankie Avalon, yeah.
Yeah, that is actually the sequel to all of them that were made in the 60s. And there were about 7 or 8 of them made. And they're all as goofy as that Back to the Beach. But Back to the Beach had Pee Wee Herman in it. So
Yeah.
that was the big draw to that movie.
I
But
think that's why I watched that movie was because Pee Wee Herman was in it.
well, they actually made one beach movie that was a horror movie because they were all made at Roger Corman's studio, AIP. And they had Vincent Price. It was Dr. Goldenfoot and the Bikini
And the
Machine or something like that.
Yeah, the Bikini Bombs or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we're even getting in chat that Eric Von Zipper is the best. Yeah, that was the leader of the motorcycle gang. So,
That's just and I'm changing my name to Eric Von Zipper.
Please do.
oh,
Be amazing.
Adam, are you sure you want to say that out loud? I'm going to give you one chance to retract.
No retractions
Okay.
needed.
Okay. Photoshop process engaged. Okay. Actually, you probably wouldn't look bad. I'm just thinking about you'd probably fit in. You probably look more like a biker guy than he did. All right. So, Mike, you loved the movie. Did you immediately rewind it and watch it again?
No.
No?
One, it was streaming, so I couldn't rewind anything. So,
Well, that's the beauty. You don't even have to wait for the tape to rewind anymore.
just hit the start over button.
So you don't think this thing even made it to VHS? That's amazing.
I mean, I don't quote me because I didn't really look that deep into it, but the transfer was fucking awful, man. Like, there's no way it could be from a VHS.
Wow.
Or from it just, I don't know. I've seen a lot of bad transfers, but
this was
that
terrible.
one was horrendous.
Awful.
Horrendous. I don't even know what, in 82, what else would they have shot on that would have been 16?
Maybe Super 8?
And I don't think it was as bad as Super 8.
It probably, if it was really low cost, it could have been on beta or, direct to video.
Yeah.
But you said it was grainy, so that's telling me it's a film stock.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a film because there were the cigarette burns in the top corners where they spliced them together.
Yeah.
Like you could see them, especially in the real white of the snowmobiling scenes.
What it probably is, Mike, if they're showing the cigarette burns and all that, that was a copy that was screened instead of a studio copy, that was kept. So this thing probably made its way through about 50 projectors throughout the Midwest before ending up on Amazon.
Made it in the trash can. What's up, Adam?
Believe it or not, it did get a home video release in 1986 through New World Pictures.
It was New World?
It was New World, and then in 2012, Code Red did a DVD and a Blu-ray in 2017.
A DVD?
Yes.
Wow.
It did get DVD and Blu-ray released through Code Red, but it's on the shelf for 4 years before it got a VHS release through New World.
Wow. That's I mean, if Amazon Prime streaming it, that's probably the best version they have of it, right?
Yeah, that'd be my guess.
I'm not sure about that, Mike, and I'll tell you why. I'm big on the Amazon Prime stuff, and I have noticed if you say like some songs that they don't have the rights to, like Pandora's got the rights to or something, they go and they hire some like cover band. I think they go to a wedding or something, and they have a cover band do a version of it, so that when you say I want to listen to this song, they play this cover band version of it. Like the Fightin' 50s band or, something like that. I wonder if Netflix or something has the official release and they're like, well, we don't want to pay extra for the official release. This one's good enough. Just grab it. Because, with Night of the Living Dead, there's like 5 million versions of Night of the Living Dead out there.
That's because they fuck.
Well, some look great and some look like absolute shit,
But that's because Night of the Living Dead was public domain because they fucked up the trademark on it.
Well,
so I could put out Night of the Living Dead if I wanted to,
Oh, absolutely. And I've often thought we might do a watch along on that one someday. But it still leads me to wonder if maybe they didn't want to pay extra for a decent copy of it and they just took the cheapest copy.
Yeah, I mean, it's terrible. So just fucking throw all movies in the trash.
And Mike, I know you
Something's like
can see
Cokehead and all that kind of
the photos
shit
that
that-
I had. Some of the photos are really high quality.
That's not the version I watched. for
Yeah,
sure.
and then some of it is this blur vision where it looks like somebody put soap all over the lens.
Yeah, that's the one I watched.
Yeah.
That's the good one.
That's the same one that's on Tubi.
See, this picture looks great. This picture right here, it looks like somebody took that with a high resolution, and then this picture looks like crap. So, anyway. So, is it time to grade?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get the grading book out. Here it comes. All right. Let me guess. I'm thinking you're going to give one of these out. No?
Giving out an F.
A total F.
Total F.
Total F. Wow.
You
You
can't-
are so mean.
Fuck that movie. You can't call yourself something and have nothing to do with what you just called yourself. And then put some, fucking description up that, oh yeah, that sounds paranormal, whatever. And then you got, oh, fuck. So you what?
Hey, we want to thank our chat room, Ben and Sandy. We know you're in there. There's a couple more in there. Thank you so much for participating and coming out to see us live tonight. If you want, Mike will come to your house and watch Ghost Keeper with you in your living room. So that's something you have to look forward to by being a live participant tonight in the chat room.
I'll be in my boxers.
All right, I think it's time for my movie. I decided to go with Monster Hunter. This is the latest time that Anderson went and grabbed his wife, Mila Jovovich, and decided to make a movie.
Wait a minute. Married?
Yeah. You didn't know
Wait a
this?
minute. No, I literally had no idea. So why
That's
doesn't
why
he
she
get
keeps
shit?
allowing this to happen to herself.
Why doesn't he get shit for always having his wife in films like Zombie gets for having his wife in films? And I'm going to go on record right now and say I don't give a fuck about the Munsters, so people can cry all they want about him doing the Munsters.
I'm you know what, Munsters is so over because they've tried rebooting it 7 times and the only time it worked was the original. So they can do whatever they want with that thing by now. But yeah, Paul W.S. Anderson, I'm going to double check that because you sounded so shocked. But I am his spouse since 2009 has been Mila Jovovich.
Okay. Yeah, I just didn't know. That was shocking.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think. I think they had already made Resident Evil before 2009. I'm wondering where exactly in the old filmography. I'm going to look that up right now. So they had already made 3 of the Resident Evils by the time they got married, and the 4th one was Afterlife. That was right after that. I can't remember. I don't think Pandorum she was in. I don't think she was in that one.
Yeah, I don't think she was.
Or Death Race. I don't think she was in that one either. But
Yeah.
she's been in a lot of his movies, that's for sure. I know she was in that Three Musketeers thing too that he had done. But all the Resident Evils, obviously, and he made all those. And that's what I'm going to say about Monster Hunter. For those of you that were missing Resident Evil since 2016, I think was the last one. Don't worry, it's back. That's what this movie is. It's instead of zombies, it's monsters, and it's the same type of film, in my opinion. It's more action than horror. I'll say that flat out. But because it's a monster movie, obviously I'm kind of the monster guy in group. And this is one of the movies that I think got released right at the new year or shortly after the new year. It is playing on a lot of different streaming, including being on Amazon Prime. You do have to pay extra for it. It isn't one of the freebies. So if you want to save money, Ghost Keeper. But if you want to have a good time, Monster Hunter. She is part of a, what would you say? Kind of like a desert warfare set of either mercenaries or soldiers of some kind, kind of modern time, and they somehow go through some sort of portal to a different world. And in this world, there are a hell of a lot of monsters. And there's the guy that was in Ong Bak, those movies. Did you ever see any of those martial art movies? Ong Bak, the Thai warrior or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I saw the first one.
Yeah.
Parts of it.
Yeah, he's a very talented martial artist. I like that guy. I saw him in one called Triple Threat recently, which I'll highly recommend to martial arts fans. This movie, I would say roughly the first like quarter of the movie is them passing into this weird world, and she is basically watches her team get destroyed one after another. And then they kind of meet up with Ong Bak, that dude, and there is a giant monster underneath the sand, which you would think is, it's Tremors. This thing is like almost Godzilla sized and just gigantic and runs around underneath the sand. That's on one side of them, and then there's giant spider monsters on the other side of them, and they're kind of like in the middle. That lasts almost through the first half of the movie, that conflict is set up. The effects, there's obviously like so much CGI, it's ridiculous. However, the effects kind of work. And you got to remember, this is not a movie that they're looking for Oscar consideration. This is a movie that was made for fun, and people to have fun. And you probably shouldn't be thinking a lot as you watch this movie, because you could drive a truck through the plot pretty easily. But why would you want to? It's made for fun, and it is kind of entertaining. Ron Perlman shows up at one point, Hellboy. He's got I would say a small supporting role, but he's in there pretty good.
Does anybody really like Ron Perlman?
I liked Hellboys. I like the Hellboy movies.
It just seems like a dick.
There's a lot of people that enjoyed him from the Beauty and the Beast series when he did that with, was that Linda Hamilton? I think Linda Hamilton was on that.
Yeah.
So he gets a lot of love from that one. I didn't like him in Pacific Rim at all.
No, me neither.
I thought it brought the whole movie down when he showed up.
He was in a Blade film, and I think that was his best role that I enjoyed.
I think that was Blade 2, wasn't it? With Guillermo?
Yeah, I think so.
Because then Guillermo used him for Hellboy.
Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah,
he
was.
Sure.
I never got into Sons of Anarchy. I didn't really go into it that much. But
yeah, it's just something to watch. I didn't love it, didn't hate it. But Ron Perlman was pretty decent on there.
Yeah, I think what it is with him Mike, is he's kind of a throwback to the grotesques. You know, there were actors in the early days of Universal and that where he used grotesque. You know, like Rondo Hatton was a grotesque.
Yeah.
He's just kind of like a face that you instantly go, got it, know who this guy is. You know, and you see Ron Perlman and you know what character he's playing. I mean, you just know. It's like shorthand. Oh, he's going to be kind of a dick. Okay. You know, you just kind of know it. Now, Mila Jovovich, on the other hand, every time she's on screen, I just look into those eyes and I go, oh my God. She is gorgeous throughout this thing. She continues to be gorgeous, you know, after, 30 years almost of these movies. It's unbelievable.
She is beautiful, that's for sure.
Yeah. So that's extremely good to watch. Special effects are fun, you know, but anybody that goes into this and think it's going to be anything other than a Resident Evil with like a new skin on it, yeah, you're wrong. This is basically a Resident Evil movie. So if you don't like Resident Evil movies, I'm telling you right now, stay 100 yards from this film. Put a restraining order on yourself. There is no reason for you to watch it. This is made for fans of that over-the-top action against some form of monster. If you watch like the Resident Evils, particularly like the last 3, they're less zombie movies and they're more monster movies anyway. They kept having these like boss battle type things.
Yeah, they kept mutating and people injecting the T virus in themselves and such.
Yeah. Now, did you guys like the Resident Evil movies? I'm just curious.
I did, yeah.
I honestly have not seen them. My wife loves them, but I haven't taken the time to watch them.
I actually, it's one of those things where I saw the first one. Probably by the time they had already come out with like 3 of them. I remember watching the first one and kind of going, what the hell's everybody so excited about? And then I saw the second one. And I think the second one is fantastic. And after that, they kind of blurred together. But because the second one was the one in the city. And that one was awesome. And then it became, you know, Resident Evil goes to the desert. Resident Evil goes to the fortress. Resident Evil, you know, it was like they had a theme to it. So,
yeah, like you said, Resident Evil films, like the first 2, I really think are good, legitimate films.
Yeah.
Then the third onward, like you said, they just mesh together. I mean, they're almost the same thing.
Yeah.
But they're made for fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's
zombies. It's fun.
It's kind of like they say about eating Chinese food. Like an hour later, you're hungry again. You watch them and they're fun while you're watching them. And afterwards, you probably forgot 90% of it. I literally watched this about a week and a half ago. I can't get into details on this thing. A lot of it's already gone. You know, it's already...
Well, the thing is, like, with me, when did it become films had to be this fucking epic, you know, statement? Why can't films just be something that I turn on for an hour and a half and shut my brain off? It's like people look down at films like Monster Hunter or Resident Evil, and I don't understand that. Like, yeah, I like a good think piece every once in a while, but why can't I just watch shit blow out too?
That's the thing. There's so many different audiences. Can't we get something without being picked on that we like? So, you know, I'll give you a great example. The Academy Awards just named off their movies. And I think you two guys know I watch movies like I'm a freaking freak of nature. I'm watching them all the time. I'm not just watching horror movies. I'm watching comedies. I'm watching all that stuff. I was absolutely certain that this year Invisible Man was going to get a nomination for something. For something. Nothing. I couldn't
A whole
freaking
bunch of
believe
movies you
it.
never heard of got
I
nominated.
didn't know. I don't think I knew a single one of the movies. I'm like, what the hell? And it's not like they made a rule. Okay, you had to go see this movie in a theater. They were putting all sorts of streaming garbage on there, And I was like, are you kidding me? Are you absolutely kidding me? I thought for once Invisible Man was gonna get in there. It was going to be a horror movie. I mean, yes, we got Touch of Water or whatever that thing was. Shape of Water. Shape of Water a couple years back. We had Misery and we had Silence of the Lambs. But I really thought Invisible Man, this was a movie that was going to be like Silence of the Lambs, where it was going to actually get multiple awards. It wasn't even in the conversation. And it's one of the few movies that actually made it to a movie screen. I thought that would give it an edge as well. Apparently, it gave it nothing. So I don't know. It was a fun movie. I had a lot going for it. This movie is fun. This one, I'm not going out on a ledge and saying, okay, this is going to get Oscar nominations. There will be no Oscar nominations for this film. But I think here's the thing I can say. Let me look it up. I don't know how long this movie was, but the movie felt like it was 30 minutes long. It moved so fast. I would say the storyline, if you're looking for what the storyline is closest to, it would be closest to, if you remember, Enemy Mine with Lou Gossett Jr. and Dennis Quaid. Do you guys remember that movie?
I do.
That was like Robinson Crusoe in outer space. This has a lot of that inside of it. I guess this movie was rated PG-13, like Anybody Goes Out anymore. Where is how long this movie is? There it is. An hour 43 minutes. It did not feel like that. I'm telling you, this movie just runs fast. At the beginning, it takes a little time because that first monster is a son of a bitch, and he's tough to get by. But then it's like kill, 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 kill. And moves even faster. But in the opening, you're still learning the characters and all that. It's just a lot of fun. And if you have any sort of arachnophobia, this movie's gonna really feed that, because the spider type monsters are disgusting. I would say they're worse than the spiders in Lord of the Rings or the Harry Potter movies by far. They are creepy as hell. So yeah, I believe this is based on a video game franchise. I don't know the video game franchise at all. So I don't know if it's true to that or anything like that. I would say, again, don't be looking for like a faithful adaptation or anything of that nature. Look for a good time, and Monster Hunter is going to deliver it for you. And I am going to grade this. And I'm going to give it pretty well what you would expect. I'm giving it a B. It's a B movie. And it did exactly what you expect a B movie to do. It goes quickly. It has fun. It's entertaining throughout. And I think you're really going to enjoy it. Check it out. It is available on a bunch of different streaming platforms. I do know that it is on Amazon Prime, but it's some sort of upcharge. I can't remember if it's like $6-8, something like that. And you can watch that. I honestly, I would recommend it at that price point. I would recommend it. If you got, in particular, if you got a bunch of people in your house that are younger, to watch it with, they're going to enjoy this thing. It's PG-13. It isn't real bloody or anything of that nature. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun as the movie goes.
I'm glad to hear
right,
that.
go ahead.
I hope to see it.
Yeah, it's a good time. All right, let's take a look at the website. What have we got going on in the website? I didn't even look before today's show. Well, of course, we're talking about our program. But let's see. We got Adam, that's got to be one of yours. What is it? Koki D? Koki Da? Wasn't that one of the Beatles songs?
No, this is if I remember right, it's a Swiss flick that premieres Thursday on Shudder. Kind of a bizarre flick, felt a little long in the tooth, but yeah.
Okay. And I continue to go through the Mom Pa Kettle series. We got Rebecca Fishy. Did
Yeah.
I say that? I said that wrong, didn't I? Okay. Then we have Stay Out of the Effing Addict, a review. We have a terror anthology that's coming to Amazon Prime. We have some info. Dead on the Bases, we are starting the new episode, or the new season is coming up on Thursday. So if you want to give that a try, we're coming out on Thursday. I have a review of Tremors. You know, that movie just came out, so you can go check that out. And we got more interviews from the Crypt and info on Joe Bob. There, what's the name of his whole thing? Is it The Last Drive-In? I forget what they call that thing.
It's The Last Drive-In, and that's a whole rundown of what's coming to Shudder in April.
Okay,
Tons of stuff. So,
well, fantastic. So that continues to be a pretty good value when it comes to streaming out there. So folks should check it out. And of course, Adam is all over it. If something important's happening on Shudder, you'll see it over on Otherworldly Culture. There's no question about that. Anything else that we need to push, guys?
Hugs, not drugs.
Okay, that's sweet. And
Ghost Go see Ghost Keeper.
Yes, go see the. Tell them Mike sent you. And keep in mind, if you would like to reach any of us by email, you can just use our first name at otherworldlyculture.com. So I'm Tim at otherworldlyculture.com. Adam, you are?
I am, what's that guy's name? Eric Von Zipper at otherworldlyculture.com.
Yeah, that's coming. That's coming. We'll get that set up tonight. And I think you're Michael, right? Mike, or did I make you Mike? I might have made you Mike. Mike at Otherworldly Culture.
I don't remember. It's been so damn long.
Just send an email to me and I'll pass it along. So we'll do that. All right. Fantastic. Well, thanks, everybody. We're on again, I think, in 2 weeks. We got another show. So check that out. And again, on Thursday here on Twitch, we have Dead on the Bases. We are going to be reviewing. Oh, shit. I shouldn't have said anything. What are we reviewing? We are going to be reviewing a sports film and a horror film, Black Sheep and Dodgeball. We are doing. So it
Both
should
great.
be interesting. Have you guys seen Black Sheep? I know you've seen Dodgeball. I think Black Sheep is woefully underrated. I think it's a really good flick.
Yeah, I think it's a great film.
Yeah, and you know, I looked into it a little bit, getting ready for the show. The dude that made that only made like 3 movies. That's it. I was like, that was his first movie, Black Sheep, and I'm like, that does not feel like a first movie.
Not at all.
It felt like a mature film, you know, that was a guy that has done a few of these. So I don't know. I'll be interested to see how my old scaredy cat makes it through that one. And,
it's pretty light. You should be all right.
Mike, I got Orphan coming up for him.
Nice.
can't wait. Okay, so hang in there, pumpkin, until our next show. And remember, as Alfred Hitchcock once said, there's no terror in the bang. It is in the anticipation. It's in the waiting. So when you aim at horror, make sure you're dead on. See you next time. Otherworldlyculture.com.
The whores make money with their mouth, but it doesn't make it right.